Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a journey back in time, diving deep into the very early days of Queen, and we're going to see it all through the eyes of the band's legendary drummer, Roger Taylor. It's hard to imagine now, but even someone as iconic as Freddie Mercury did you and immediately convince everyone he was a star in the making. Roger's reflections give us this incredibly rare, intimate glimpse into the formation of one of the greatest rock bands of all time. So let's set the scene. Roger Taylor recalls the very first time he met a young man named Farrokh Bulsara, who we would all come to know as Freddie Mercury. "It was at my flat in Shepherd's Bush," Roger said. At this point, Freddie wasn't the larger-than-life frontman we know today. He was just a friend of Tim Staffell, the singer for Roger's band at the time, hanging around their rehearsals. Taylor admits, with a bit of a laugh, he had musical aspirations. But we were quite good players, and we weren't really sure if he could sing. Can you even imagine that? The voice that would define a generation, and his future bandmates weren't entirely sold at first. But what Freddie might have lacked in initial vocal proof, he more than made up for with sheer, unstoppable drive. Taylor remembers this vividly. His drive and determination to write original stuff was great. This shared passion for creating something new was the spark that ignited their friendship. And it wasn't just about music, it was about survival. "We became huge friends because we had the stall," Roger recalls. Talking about the market stall, they ran together to make ends meet. "We were living in each other's pockets, scrubbing together to eat." There's such a warmth in his words. A powerful reminder that before the world tours and the stadium anthems, Queen was built on camaraderie, struggle, and a shared dream. Now, you might picture a young, aspiring rock band hanging out in London's trendiest clubs, trying to get noticed. But for early Queen, the reality was much less glamorous. When asked about their go-to spots, Taylor just laughs. "Oh no, we couldn't afford stuff like that," he says. "We'd be in a pub, and then we'd probably meet some girls and try to get some drinks off them." It paints such a vivid picture, doesn't it? A band starting from the absolute ground up. Young, broke, but overflowing with a raw energy and a love for music. This is what forged the early Queen, the grit, the hustle, and that relentless belief that they had something truly special, even if the world hadn't caught on yet. And then came the moment of truth. Their very first public performance as Queen in 1970. It was on some legendary rock venue. "My mother put on the gig," Roger says, smiling at the memory. "It was a charity show for the Red Cross, a humble, almost wholesome start for a band that would go on to conquer the globe." According to Taylor, the audience didn't quite know what to make of their new frontman. "He was fairly outrageous," he explains. "Not quite fully formed Freddie, and people weren't sure what to expect." This early flamboyance, those dramatic gestures, and that budding charisma, this was the seed of the legendary stage presence that would captivate millions. This was Freddie beginning to become Freddie. Beneath the theatricality, though, was a deep and genuine friendship. Life in those early days was a constant challenge. The band scraped together meals, shared cramped living spaces, and leaned on each other for support. It wasn't about glamour. It was about pure persistence, unbreakable friendship, and an unwavering faith in their music. Roger really emphasizes that the bond he shared with Freddie was unique. They weren't just bandmates, they were family. And it was this incredible closeness, this deep-seated loyalty, that became the very foundation for everything Queen would go on to accomplish. Years later, Roger was asked a question that every Queen fan has probably wondered about. Would the band still be performing live if Freddie were still alive today? His answer is thoughtful, measured, and full of incredible insight. "I can't give you a definitive answer, obviously, but I'd guess it would still be together in some form." But then he adds something crucial. "I don't think Freddie would have wanted to do it in the same way. I don't think we would be performing live. I think we probably would still have been making music, because that's what we did." And Freddie was obsessed with music. Even after all the fame and spectacle, the core of it all remained the same. It was always about the music. Roger Taylor's words give us this precious, rare glimpse into Freddie Mercury's human side, the insecurities, the early doubts, and the unstoppable determination that ultimately defined him. Freddie wasn't born a superstar. He built himself into one through raw talent, relentless ambition, and the unwavering support of friends like Roger, who believed in him. These memories remind us that the Queen we know and love, the epic music, the legendary performances, was built on countless small, unseen moments, shared flats, pub nights, charity gigs, and the kind of stubborn, unrelenting passion that can actually change the world. So, the next time you put on a Queen track, whether it's Bohemian Rhapsody or Don't Stop Me Now, remember the story behind it. Remember the scrappy beginnings, the friendships forged in tiny London flats, and the early doubts about a young man named Freddie who would go on to become one of the greatest singers of all time. Roger Taylor's memories don't just tell us about music. They tell us about friendship, about struggle, and about the incredible power of belief. And that, perhaps, is the real magic of Queen. To everyone who stayed with us through this incredible story, thank you. By hearing these memories, you get a glimpse of the man behind the legend, Freddie Mercury, whose voice, heart, and spirit will never be forgotten. Every note he sang, every word he wrote, and every moment he shared with his friends reminds us that greatness isn't just about talented, as about love, courage, and passion. Freddie may have left this world, but he will always live on in the music, in the memories, and in our hearts. And for that, we are endlessly grateful. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you soon.